Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the first few fights on the Ring 3 card. I've got a few minutes in between fights. Hamza Shiraz versus Edgar Berlanga is still yet to fight. We just saw, in my opinion, no doubt, a top 10 pound for pounder. Shakur Stevenson. That fight was just world class, elite from Shakur Stevenson. I spoke about it in the preview, saying that I still think Shakur Stevenson will win this fight and make a statement, and I think he did. I think he made a statement tonight. All the storylines where he was not going to be able to handle Zepeda, the smaller ring, Tom and Jerry, all of this, dominance. Absolute dominance. It shows how good a defensive fighter he is, considering, I would say half of that fight he spent in the corner standing there, and Zepeda still couldn't hit him. I think in the end, at the end of the fight, Zepeda was averaging 40 more punches per round, but landing one less than Shakur was per round. I think it was 24 punches landed to 25 in favor of Shakur, but like 40 punches thrown by Shakur and 80 landed by Zepeda. Let's get into the scorecards. Now, I thought they were a bit wide, but to be honest, it was dominance by Shakur. Zepeda had so much output, but when none of it's landing, it doesn't really count. And when they're all being blocked, it doesn't count either. I think Zepeda lacked probably the power to disrupt Shakur. Shakur was so comfortable. I know how good his defense is. I know how good he is at not getting hit. He was happy to just stand there, counter. And those counters were powerful compared to what Zepeda was throwing whilst Shakur was just standing there. So I think what Zepeda needs to work on is probably his power. I think that's the thing he lacked in that fight. We know that work rate did not disappoint. He is unbelievable, honestly unbelievable work rate, but that power needs to be looked at. Shakur Stevenson, 118 to 110, 118 to 110, 119 to 109. Probably a little bit wide. I think Zepeda fought a bit better than that suggests with the output, but Shakur no doubt won that fight. I think the big question is what's next for Shakur? Obviously, he's already been the champion of 3 divisions. He's currently the WBC lightweight champion. There's a few vacant belts. There's a few belts going to be fought for. Obviously, Sam Noakes takes on Abdullah Mason. Raymond Moratella tries to defend his belt against Andy Cruz. That'll be his first defense, considering he was just promoted from interim. Do we put Shakur with a winner of one of those fights? Obviously, the big talking point is probably Gervonta Davis. It's always been Gervonta Davis. He's never going to fight Gervonta Davis. In my opinion, I don't think it's ever going to happen. The past week, we've seen more issues, personal legal issues to do with Gervonta Davis, which we're not going to get into, but it's all over the internet. You know what it is. We all know what we're talking about. So who knows what Gervonta Davis is going to do with his belt, what he's going to do with Lamont Roach. I don't know. Maybe Lamont Roach takes on Shakur Stevenson. I think he's good enough. He showed that against Gervonta Davis. The other one's probably Keyshawn Davis. He lost his belt, though, and he's in a bit of a whirlwind within the public eye, probably after that lack of a performance against Edward De Los Santos. And he's probably just going to move up, Keyshawn Davis. He's not going to make lightweight. So, yeah, I would like to hear what you guys think he should take on next. It's got to be a big name, either in his division or the next division up. I mean, Shakur Stevenson, I don't think will struggle moving up a weight, to be honest. He might lack a little bit of size, but I think his defense is good enough that it's not going to hinder him too much. And 4-division world champion is special, especially in the weights. We're not talking about featherweights and bantamweights here. We're talking about lightweights. So yeah, I am so impressed with Shakur tonight. I think it was unbelievable. I'd like to hear what you guys think. Let's talk about the other results. Let's talk first about Imam Kartiev versus David Morrell, which I think was daylight robbery. The fact that Imam didn't even get a draw, I think, was a bit disgraceful, especially when you consider the fact that David Morrell didn't look like it was a really even fight, a very close fight. Imam Kartiev did just as well as David Morrell, and then you factor in the fact that Imam Kartiev in round 5, round 6 dropped Uh, David Morrell. I mean, come on, come on. What are we doing here? Um, I think it was a robbery, but I'm sure lots of you might have differing opinions, and we're all allowed to have our opinions. I'd like to hear what you guys think. Did David Morrell deserve that win? Did Kartiev win? Am I putting too much, you know, bias? Because, like I said in the preview, that I am a big fan of Imam Kartiev. He is also basically an Australian fighter. He works with George Kambosos. I've got a lot of stocks in him, but the scorecards were 96-93 Morrell, 95-94 Morrell, 94-95 Kartiev. And that's with the knockdown. I think the fact that he didn't even get a draw, outrageous. I will say one thing. Kartiev probably was a lot more unknown going into this fight to David Morrell. I think Morrell's stock's gone down and Kartiev's gone up. I know that's weird because Kartiev lost and Morrell won, but I think that's just how it is. This wasn't the David Morrell that went 12 rounds with David Benavidez. And this is Imam Kartiev, a very good amateur. 10 wins, 9 knockouts, now 1 loss. But that loss was a loss that he doesn't deserve. He probably beat David Morrell. And I think we're going to see big, big things. Kartiev signed with Matchroom Boxing, I believe. Is he signed? Does he have... I'm not sure whether he's technically signed with Matchroom Boxing, but his last fight was a Matchroom Boxing event, and this one here, I believe, had something to do with Eddie Hearn as well. So don't quote me on that, but I think we're going to see him on more Matchroom Boxing cards, and he definitely deserves it. The last fight is Subriel Matias versus Alberto Puello. All right, Subriel Matias. He beats Alberto Puello. I said in my prediction video that I thought he was going to knock him out. If not, he was still going to win by decision. Tough fight. I think Alberto Puello fought very, very well. This is another one that if you told me that you thought Alberto Puello won the fight, then look, I've got no... I wouldn't disagree with you. I think it's that close that either side could have got it. It went 113-115 Matias, 113-115 Matias, 114-114. Yeah, it was that. If not a draw, if not the same, but Alberto Puello. I think Alberto Puello probably finished better, but Subriel Matias started stronger. And I think that it was the fight we were expecting. Lots and lots of clinch work. Wasn't the neatest, wasn't a technical masterclass. It was just a hard graft by both people, and Subriel Matias got the nod in the end. And Subriel Matias is now the champion. I've seen a lot of people online saying I think a rematch is needed, and I couldn't disagree with that. I think that would be fantastic. Obviously, that division has a lot of people very close. Richardson Hitchens, he's taking on Liam Parrow, hopefully very, very soon. Liam Parrow does have a title eliminator coming up that'll indicate whether he gets Richardson Hitchens. Liam Parrow, obviously the one that took the belt off Subriel Matias, that IBF one, last year. So yeah, I think run it back, Matias versus Puello. If Matias wins, they can just move on, and I think Puello deserves it. He had the belt, and with such a marginal loss, it's only right. It's just sometimes these rematches that need to happen don't happen. But considering this fight was on a ring card, the money would probably not be an issue when it comes to negotiating a rematch, because we know that they're getting paid on this card. All right, guys, I'm going to assume that I'm missing the start of Hamza Shiraz versus Edgar Berlanga. My prediction is Hamza Shiraz, he's going to win it. I think he's going to stop Edgar Berlanga late or get the decision. As long as he can survive those early few rounds, if Berlanga gets even a sniff of confidence by landing big shots, it could be lights out for Hamza Shiraz. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I will be back after Hamza Shiraz versus Edgar Berlanga. I'm out of here. See yous.